When people compare Led Zeppelin and the Beatles, they often focus on the music. The Beatles were melodic innovators, studio pioneers, and cultural revolutionaries. Led Zeppelin were loud, heavy, mystical, and raw. But for John Bonham, the difference went deeper than sound. It was about attitude, performance, and what rock and roll was meant to feel like. Bonham admired the Beatles. Like most British musicians of his generation, he grew up listening to them. Their songwriting, harmonies, and studio experimentation shaped the entire British rock scene. Without the Beatles, Led Zeppelin might never have existed. But Bonham believed Led Zeppelin represented something different. The Beatles were architects of modern pop and rock structure. Led Zeppelin were a force of nature. Bonham once suggested that the Beatles were brilliant in the studio, while Led Zeppelin lived for the stage. The Beatles mastered layered production, tape experiments, and perfect arrangements. Songs like A Day in the Life and Strawberry Fields Forever were studio creations that could never truly be replicated live. Led Zeppelin, on the other hand, thrived in chaos and volume. Their songs stretched, changed, and exploded on stage. A 5-minute track could become a 30-minute jam, with Bonham's drums pushing the band into unpredictable territory. To Bonham, that was the true spirit of rock and roll. Another key difference was individuality. The Beatles were 4 distinct personalities, but they often worked within a collective framework. Their music evolved through collaboration, producer George Martin's guidance, and shared songwriting. Led Zeppelin operated more like 4 independent forces colliding. Jimmy Page's guitar was thunder. Robert Plant's voice was mythic and primal. John Paul Jones brought classical structure and precision, and Bonham's drumming was pure power. Bonham believed Led Zeppelin didn't polish their edges, they embraced them. He also saw a philosophical difference. The Beatles represented the optimism and experimentation of the 1960s. Their music reflected youth culture, social change, and psychedelic exploration. Led Zeppelin emerged in the late 1960s and early 1970s, when rock was becoming darker, heavier, and more introspective. Their songs explored mythology, fantasy, sex, and mysticism. They weren't trying to change society. They were building their own universe. Bonham once implied that the Beatles opened the door, but Led Zeppelin walked through it and turned the volume up to terrifying levels. Yet he never saw it as competition. Bonham respected the Beatles as pioneers who rewrote the rules, but he believed Led Zeppelin took rock music to a more primal, physical place. The Beatles made you think, Led Zeppelin made you feel. In the end, Bonham saw the difference not as better or worse, but as evolution. The Beatles were the blueprint, Led Zeppelin were the storm that followed. And in that storm, John Bonham's drums became the heartbeat of a new era of rock.